Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back. Today we have in the bottom right spawning as our red Zerg player playing for team DKZ. It is dark. And in the top left currently teamless, but in the blue colors nonetheless, it's going to be Gumiho here, who opened up with a CC first on the low ground, which is the only type of CC that I know. Can't really go for a CC, CC first on the high ground. That doesn't exist, or at least maybe it exists. If it does, I'm not aware of it. Hatchery first into pool first here, coming out of our good friend Dark. And this is an exciting game because both of these players are, I think, a little bit out there. Often when people think of Gumiho, they think of a player that's kind of out there, has his own weird little strategies. Dark is fairly similar though. He has, I feel like, he wisened up a bit, or at least gotten a bit more standard in the past 4 or 5 months. But I do believe that he still has, a kind of a crazy streak in him. Every now and again he'll do something a bit wild. Although his most late focus has been on these heavy Ling build orders, many hatcheries in the main base, of course. Triple hatchery in the main is the Dark special pretty much. Sent his first overlord across the map and saw that CC go down on the natural. Knows that it's a CC first. We'll still finish up these links, perhaps even try and send them across the map, as we have a marine inter-reactor here with a factory quickly following it up. So yes, Gumiho opened up with a CC first, but still wants that fast stack. Double gas is a follow-up. We see still a heavy focus on the gas. Almost makes me believe that this is going to be a battle cruiser opener. And with Gumiho, you never know if that's going to be a single starport or perhaps even a double starport battle cruiser play, because he has been known to go for these, double starports, pumping out BCs. Dark actually getting 2 more links here. 6 more links here. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of aggression here. Wanting to catch the first 2 cars that do come out. The first 2 cars indeed are on the way. Starport on the way, Tech Lab on the way as well. No third gas yet though. I mean, it would have been too early for a third gas anyway, so not too surprised by that. Metabolic boost finishes up as the Hellions are mere seconds away from finishing. But that does mean that one SCV and a Marine will go down. There's more where that came from, as there are 6 more links that are now making their way across the map. Gumiho, however, thinks that he cleaned up, starts moving out with the Hellions, and that might trigger Dark to move in. Yeah, it's a little bit painful. Next few Hellions will pop out in 2 seconds. 1 more SCV will fall here against these 2 bad boys, and 1 SCV dies on the low ground. Make that 3 total. 3 SCVs going down, 6 links falling, maybe 1 more SCV in the main. No, lots of mining time is being lost, though, during all of this. As 1 more SCV almost gets taken out, but will survive with 10 HP remaining. Cloak as well as a Viking on the way. This is going to be real Cloak. This is no faking going on over here. There's very little cash right now for Gumiho. Look at that. Supply blocked. No money available for a command center. All of a sudden got a lot of cash actually. Now gets a 3rd base. Triple Spore already on the way for Dark, so knows that it's going to be a Banshee follow-up here as the Viking goes to work on that Overlord. Actually puts Dark in a pretty significant supply block here. 65 out of 58, and the next Overlord only goes to 66. So he will need to build more Overlords here in order to unsupply block himself. Lair starts as well, but worker count is going to remain low for a little bit longer. Oh, this is an upgrade rush. Look at this. E-base before the barracks. Now, this is something that we have seen in the past, but when we've seen it, it often was with fast triple CC, low gas count. And I don't actually think with Banshees it is that normal to play it, especially not with Viking Banshee, which is what Gumiho is playing here. So this will kind of come out of the left field here for Dark. Dark will not see this coming at all. And this is a build that has a lot of potential. I'm kind of surprised they were floating this much money right now though, and no extra barracks are being produced. Like, what is the plan here? More Hellions on the way? 1-1 does start. Will he just build 5 barracks at the same time? He's floating 800 minerals. Gumiho is playing honestly a terrible game at the moment. been floating so much money during all of this. Yes, he's been trying his best to harass, but that hasn't really been working out. His macro hasn't really been working out. The only thing that's working out so far for him is the fast E-base, and that he's going to have quicker upgrades than his opponent. But honestly, he's already getting a second factory now. Look at that. All of this infrastructure being built at the same time is a very, very bad sign when it comes to the tightness of the build order. This is not how you're supposed to do it. The next time he's going to be aggressive across the map is a very long time from now. He is not going to be capable of building medevacs yet with this starport, because the starport will need to lift, I think. Yeah, and rebuild a reactor somewhere else. He simply doesn't have the Marines to go across the map. There's 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, he has 2 Marines. Normally, Terran players move out across the map at this point with 16 Marines and 2 medevacs if they open up with a double Banshee opener. Now sure, another Viking was added, but this has been one of the least tight build orders that I've seen out of a Terran in a very, very long time. If the names were hidden here, I don't think I would have guessed that Gumiho was a professional player, honestly. Just the amount of money that he has been floating is very uncharacteristic of a pro game. Fort base goes down here, so the one thing that is interesting to note, of course, is that Gumiho does have good eco. He has been producing workers all the way throughout. His fort base is at a pretty standard timing, and his upgrades are also at a good timing. So if he eventually manages to spend his money, the only thing that he really lost is the ability to kind of exert some pressure on his opponent. And the funny thing about that is that Dark actually had been building units. So Dark built 11 roaches of 66 workers, kind of responding to what a normal timing would have been, not knowing that Gumiho is really slow with his Marines. Stim has finished up. Combat Shield has also finished up already. I mean, it's really, really, really rare to see Stim and Combat finish before the first 2 medevacs are out. We have these Hellions still trying to deal some damage. 3 more barracks out on the way, as well as tank production is now ramping up with these double factories, with the double tech labs. As we have a Lurker Den, a 5th hatchery, as well as a hive here for Dark. So kind of going back into that old school cave bob style. Just a very defensive Roach, Ravager, Hydra mid game. And then into those Lurkers. The moment he feels like he can be out on the map, he wants to start getting out on the map. Queen is going to get taken out here by these 1-1 Marines, as these Roaches with the +1 attack will push this back for now. Gumiho tries to quickly rotate to a different side, and now we see that the supply is actually fine for Gumiho. So, like I said, as long as he gets to spend his money, his overall supply is going to be fine. The only issue is that he couldn't really put any pressure on Dark. Dark on a very, very low worker count though. 74 workers, now getting more Hydras, now getting Vipers out already. Getting a couple of Spores as well in the... I think all of these are in the main, yeah. All 3 extra Spores are in the main base, so securing that base for now. Fort base has landed for Gumi. Seems to be setting up for a 2-2 timing push. I don't think that's a timing push that can really do anything here. Perhaps deny a little bit of creep, as we do have 6 tanks moving forward. And it's a significant number of tanks, right? Don't get me wrong here. And whenever you have a number of tanks like that, they're always going to be capable of doing something. The problem is that Vipers are out already, Lurkers are out, so I think Dark is going to need some severe miscontrols here to make this work for Gumiho. And Dark is usually not the guy that goes for the severe miscontrols. Tanks are very far in the back. A single Blinding Cloud could take out 5 tanks here. That's an abduct. That means that 1 tank is going to fall for free. 2-2 is about to finish up, and the 5th base has been taken out. So I feel like this push has already been more successful than I thought it would have been, or perhaps than I thought it should have been. I wouldn't mind to see the next unit just rotating towards the bottom side, because it makes sense that the 5th base is going to be taken there at this point, and you also don't want to just add on more into this position. I don't think it actually reinforces the position as much. More Marines here. Lynx coming in with a flank. Blinding Clouds connecting as well, and this is going to get cleaned up. At the same time, Gumiho is eyeing the 5th base here as the tank continues shooting, and we're actually heading into a kind of a late game scenario here with very little creep on the map, with good upgrades for Gumiho. Does he have a Ghost Academy? Has a Ghost Academy. 5th base almost done. The only thing he's lacking currently is a refinery count of up to 8. I think that is pretty valuable to have at this point, allowing yourself to transition into those ghosts, allowing yourself to continuously be producing those tanks, because only a single tank is left remaining, and against lurkers that is actually somewhat scary. Because if you can't clear lurkers with tanks or ghosts, then you're going to have to do it with Marines and Marauders, and Marines and Marauders are simply not quite as competent as a cleanup crew for the lurker. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Another CC and another CC get added, so heavy focus here going into that later stage of the mid game. Almost feel like we've kind of entered the early stages of the late game even, but Gumiho seems to want to kind of extend it. You know, it's the director's cut of the mid game. You know, yeah, a little bit longer. No ghost yet, no higher tank counts. He says no. I actually feel like I can still make something happen here with these pure bio units, with my Marines, with my Marauders, with my medevacs added in as well. Perhaps it's just clearing some creep. Perhaps it's just taking out 4 or 5 drones at a time. But I feel like I can extend my lead a little bit further through the use of those more primitive units. While we see Dark with a rather sophisticated army here. Higher lurker counts. Vipers already in there now. Triple drop is setting up to go in towards the main base, but with all these spores in position, I don't really think that is going to be a very viable plan here. We'll see how Gumiho is going to try and kind of play this, because he has a couple of groups of units on the map, 3 groups to be exact. He has this group in the middle here, he has a group on the top right side, as we can see on the mini-map, and then he has the triple medevacs heading in towards that main base right now. So everything's going in at the same time, and yeah, there's so many spores available. One lurker tries to burrow as well. Pre-scan, very well done here out of Gumiho. Manages to get in, does walk into a lurker down here. Well, not just one lurker, multiple lurkers. Tries to snipe the hive, will get the hive. That means that every Viper he takes down right now is a Viper that's not going to come back anytime soon. That's too many lurkers to beat. Simply too many lurkers. What's in here? Oh, it's completely empty. I thought it actually had something in it, but it most definitely did not. Like I said, ghost count is now growing as the gases are being taken. Going up to 10 gas here is Gumiho. On 3-3 upgrades. We'll get a cancel on the 6th base most likely. As we have a solid 6 base setup for Dark. This is probably the easiest map in the entire map pool to set up 6 bases on. At least from what I'm aware, this seems to be the easiest. Because once you kind of have this area, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the 7th can be a little bit tricky, especially if your creep doesn't go quite far enough, but Dark decides to go towards the bottom side. It's always a vulnerable base because the high ground position here can be really tricky to deal with. Lurker gets taken out as soon there should be a 6 base going somewhere here. There's just no command center ready yet, as we see 3 new command centers in production immediately. Lurkers moving in position as well. There's a couple of tanks. It will help out. Ghost, EMP, snipes. No. ABDUCTS, SCVs there. Surely that's incorrect. Boom. 1 Viper goes down. Don't forget about that hive. Where are you, Mr. Hive? It's just a lair for now. Every Viper that does get shot is not coming back anytime soon. First hive needs to start, and then the Viper needs to finish. And then the Viper needs to get energy. So, yeah, how long does hive take? 70? 71 seconds, yeah. Then a Viper takes a while as well. So, yeah, we're probably 2 minutes away from a new Viper entering the pitch here. That's a pretty bad thing. And it might even allow Gumiho to get a little more aggressive. Woo! That lurker almost escaped death there. But not quite. Not quite. Ghost count is at 12. You have a Marauder Marine army. Do you want to move these together? Kind of in tandem, or do you want to individually move these groups around? So far it seems like Gumiho is okay with leaving these units just out in the open. Kind of as a sniping force that walks in front of the army saying, hey, if there's anything at all that looks like it might be vulnerable, I'm just going to snipe it. Usually they're kind of hiding behind, but because there's no banelings, I guess there's no real reason for that either. We do have the centrifugal hooks now, so banelings are most likely on the way. We have the melee upgrades coming in as well. And I like this position, I think, for Gumiho. I think I would This sounds stupid, but I think I would like it more if he were to take out these rocks. Not necessarily because then he would be capable of getting surrounded more, which is not a good thing for Terran. More, different flanks open up, but it allows him to easily rotate between this base and kind of this middle area, which if you can breach this middle area is also absolutely huge. Big snipes here coming in. EMPs hitting as well. Fungal does connect with a lot of the ghost, cancelling some of these snipes. Oh, this snipe is actually going to be huge, as this lurker will end up falling. 2 lurkers go down there against a ghost and a tank. Good combination indeed. Can we get a scan? Can we get a scan? Yes, we can. As the Ravager is going to get sniped here as well. Resources lost count is at 13k to 15,000. As we now have a full-on rotation towards the bottom side. I don't think Gumiho is actually aware of the fact that there is a base at the 6 o'clock. And this lurker should be taken out still. Can we get a scan? I think we should be capable of getting this lurker for sure. Almost a waste to not get it at this point. Yeah, here we go. Moves forward. 2 Marauders, a Marine, and a couple of Ghosts will take care of that. At the same time, double tanks are on the high ground, are being attacked by lurkers. But I don't think Gumiho is quite paying attention to that position as we speak. No, both of the tanks will go down, and that's a pretty big deal. That leaves that third base so much more open. At the same time, Ghost getting the snipes in. We'll take out the lurker there. Here, the lurker still is alive. Will eventually get shot down. Baneling's now moving forward, trying to get connections. Might get connections, but I'm not so sure how efficient they are. We did see a Nidus network as well going down earlier. But we haven't seen it used yet. It's completely empty. Here comes a Baneling run by, but Ghost in position. Will take out every single Baneling before they connect with the SCVs. Uh-oh. This is a significant force. We'll take out a Viper here. Bunch of Banelings moving forward. Fungals are available as well. Here comes the boost away. Fungals going to connect here. That means that this bad boy is going to die. 2 more medevacs are in trouble. I think Dark just pulled the trigger for a major attack. There's no tanks to back this up. The ghost count is massive, but is that enough? Yes is the answer here for sure. Hydra's being taken out as they try to retreat. Marines chasing here as well as lurkers take out this planetary. And all of a sudden Gumiho in a world of trouble where before it felt like his bank was never ending. Right now he's running out of cash. And that is definitely a problem. Bottom side also being harassed here by lurkers. This one out of range of the scan, but in range of this turret. So not quite sure what the plan is over there. As these links will take out this sensor tower. More lurkers moving forward right now. Barrow being researched as well for links and banelings most likely. Or maybe if you want to have a Hydra trap. Although it isn't very common. Of course, something that you can do. Turret here is going to get taken out eventually. 21 workers going down in the past minute or so. As more and more units are streaming on forward. Ghosts come to clean this up. We'll take care of the lurker, but here come a couple of links as well. Also gonna get sniped. Is this an army we should be afraid of? I think not. I think Ghost can take care of that actually. Does feel like it should be the case. I mean, a couple of snipes here and everything should fall. At the same time though, the lurkers over here really have nothing to worry about. They're the apex predator right now. GG gets called. Gumiho decides to leave. Sees no future anymore in this game, and well, I pretty much agree with him. Interesting little... felt like almost a never-ending mid-game attack here out of Dark with Lurker, Baneling, Infestors just being put into that army comp so early on. How many did he end up losing? 7 Infestors lost already. Still 9 in the composition as well. Just kind of using them the way that Protoss players could use Templar against Terran, just kind of sprawling them around the map, and whenever someone walks by, you throw one in, and really help with that fight in the middle, taking out these medevacs. Seems like that is going to be the solution to his ZVT problems, if he had any ever. Just random infestors. Very cool. All right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.